see you're out of the darkness, Mr. Five.
Yes, we went on a 4-day darkness retreat. What's up, Darian? And when I went in, I felt like I was, fine about everything that was going on. And then what happened was I realized I needed $45 million to continue my darkness retreat.
So you're officially holding out of the dumpster fire for $45 million? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I just want to
I don't blame you for
clear that those are my demands.
$45 million? Yeah, you can walk. I mean, to be fair, you own the channel, so I'd walk. But
yeah, look, I'm not looking for a lot of years, maybe 5 years at $45 million. I mean, that's the going rate, right, for a quarterback that's won a playoff game. I mean, Kyler Murray makes how much money?
Like $48 million?
$48 million a year? I'm better than Kyler Murray, right? My name's Daniel Jones. I'm a better QB than Kyler Murray. And, yeah. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, we're going to pretend this rumor's real because there's nothing else to talk about in the NFL.
Why wouldn't it be, though? Like, why wouldn't Daniel Jones ask for that?
Well, that's the thing. When you're an agent, you probably do a ridiculously high offer, then you whittle it down and get a little more. That's negotiating.
If I'm the agent, right, and I'm representing Daniel Jones, I'm going to ask for the maximum based on the data that I have, right? What does Kirk Cousins make?
Kirk Cousins probably makes around 40 to 45, maybe a little more.
Cousins contract. All right. $35 million. No.
Was that his old contract?
It was on Sport Track, yeah.
Yeah.
So next year he makes $36 million.
36 is still really good money.
Yeah, his base is 10 with a signing of 6 and a roster bonus of 20. Really, his AAV is about 36 million. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, if I'm Daniel Jones's agent, I'm gonna go for the top shelf. I'm gonna get my client paid. And if they say, look, you're not worth 45 million, the thing is, what other team is gonna give him 45 million?
You'd be surprised. There's some quarterback desperate teams out there.
Who is going to give him 45 million?
Panthers. Indianapolis Colts.
Wait a minute, Panthers? They're already paying for Darnold, sorry ass.
Darnold's contract is up.
Mayfield. Okay.
Mayfield's up. They're both up. They were 1-year deals.
So they're clear of all their contracts?
Darnold just had a 5th-year option, so he's out.
I bet you, well, actually, Daniel Jones would make a lot of sense in Carolina, being from North Carolina.
Like the Duke product, man.
I don't think they're
Washington wouldn't be a bad idea.
Washington, they're rolling with Sam Howell.
Yeah. I mean, they might bring in a veteran for competition. The Raiders, I feel like they want a bigger name. They're going to want like an Aaron Rodgers.
I see. The thing is, you bring in Daniel Jones in Carolina, with how many bad pieces that they have, you're just replicating the Giants situation from when he was drafted, right? You're just starting all over. You're putting Daniel Jones, you're overpaying him with the shitty roster. Like for Daniel Jones personally, the best place to stay is New York because he's already proven that he can take this shit fucking team to the playoffs.
But did he do enough to have a long-term contract? And honestly, I'd rather guarantee like a 1-year opt-out. Like in case like he goes to shit, you can be like, cut your losses.
Long-term, no, but a 2-year, a 5-year deal. I'd say something reasonable, 38, maybe 40 million. 5-year deal, 200 AAV or 200 total value, but an opt-out after 2 years, right? If I'm an agent, that's kind of a shitty contract because, I basically only guaranteed 80 million for my client.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones will probably get another contract if he gets opted out or if he gets extended. So you have to think of it like that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if I'm the agent, I don't want my asset to have to worry about what money is going to look like. Like, I'm going to want a 5-year deal that's fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that, I'm laughing at the Giants. I'm sorry. For like a low-end starting caliber quarterback who's like top 20, top 25.
Like you said, Carolina would
do that fully.
Carolina might give him $35 million, but 5 years fully guaranteed, right? And then the Giants might take $45 million a year, but opt out after 2 years, or $40 million. It just seems like a lot of moving parts, but I just don't see a scenario where he actually gets $45 million a year.
The only way I can see him getting $45 million is if they realize like there's a lot of bad quarterbacking in the NFL. That's the only way. I mean, if you want $45 million and you're going to stick with that, you can walk. I'm going to franchise tag and trade you.
They could tag him.
Pay you $45 million.
They could tag him.
It's either him or Barkley, and quite honestly, I think they're going to let Barkley walk and sign another running back in free agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A logical Canadian says, "Hey guys, hope you all have a good show. As always, quick question, honest reactions on the Leafs getting Ryan O'Reilly. Yeah, O'Reilly's good. He's a leadership piece. Yeah. He's not, a dynamic. It's not the player that
O'Reilly was. He had a rough year this year. I get why they're doing it. They want to replace Jason Spezza on the third line. Achari's solid fourth line defensive forward, but I feel like Toronto's issues are more defense and goaltending right now, especially since both Samsonov and Matt Murray haven't really been healthy this year. Mm-hmm. Samsonov's been very hit or miss. Murray's been iffy. Joseph Woll's still too unproven. And defensively, you've had a bunch of injuries on that front, and it's still kind of besides a few emerging pieces. So I appreciate what they're doing. I mean, Kyle Dubas smells his job like burning on an open fire. Like he has to win. Like go far. Not win the cup, but at least win a series. If he doesn't, him and DJ Keefe, they're gone. Or Sheldon Keefe are gone.
Mm-hmm. Justin Ziegler, sorry I missed last week. It's busy season at Deloitte. We're preparing to file our client's 10K Friday. Which team and playoffs do you think will regress, not make the dance next year? Ooh. I think it's a real possibility that the Eagles might actually miss the playoffs next year.
Oh, the Eagles, they have a lot of free agents, and quite frankly, they have a lot of talent trained in their coaching staff.
Depending on what happens in the offseason, the Giants could be at risk for missing the playoffs. I don't see the Chargers. Like the Chargers could be at risk for falling out, and then they fire Staley. They get a decent coach, and they're right back in it. But the Giants are big at risk.
Giants are at risk. The Vikings could be at risk, especially if they don't fix their defensive woes. I would say I think the Dolphins can make it back. I would say, how many free agents do the Bills have? Because I think they're okay, but for the most part,
okay. I think they're okay.
I think they're more a wild
regressing card. Would be shocking. Like they need to re-up for another run, Mm-hmm. And they might go out and spend a lot in free agency. They might just say fuck the cap and do what they got to do. But
they have to.
Yeah, their window is kind of shutting. You know?
Well, its window shutting. It'll shut when Josh Allen loses his health, like his body starts to betray him. That's when it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I feel like. So I would say, yeah.
Justin Ziegler also says, I think Eric works in Washington and Nakobe Dean starts for the Eagles next year. I think Dean starts given his potential and Eagles cap situation. Yeah, so Eric Bieniemy gets hired by the
Washington.
The Dick Commanders. I think it's a good hire. They must have thrown him a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Plus more responsibility because he didn't really have a say in that offense. He was more like the guy who was more of an assistant to Andy Reid who was devising his offense. Now he's going to be able to call plays. Now he's devising schemes. Now he's going to deploy offenses. And this is going to be his true test. I feel like. Because he's had a bunch of opportunities for an interview as a coach, but for whatever reason, they either have gone with somebody else or there might be a red flag with him or something. Or because I know like there have been some conflicts between him and Mahomes.
Yeah, as a head coach, but the talking to Alex, like he says that Eric's, I mean, it's hard to. He also said that it's hard to determine where Eric Bieniemy ends and Andy Reid ends.
Yes, exactly.
It's very blurred. So we'll see. I mean, it's just tough because Washington's not going to have the same talent level as Kansas City. But
you have to devise for Sam Howell. Like Sam Howell could be good, but he's not going to be Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but you go out and win 2 Super Bowls, like you have to have something. Like there has to be something involved with that. I mean, even Kevin Gilbride won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. And, he ended up being a pretty decent offensive coordinator pretty much his whole career. People called him Kevin Kildrive, but
I mean, he was one of the brightest minds of the early 90s, the run and shoot. That was his baby.
He developed the run and shoot, and he developed a system that allowed Eli Manning to flourish. Like people forget 2011, 2012, Eli Manning was fucking elite. And people are like, oh, he threw for 4,995 yards that year. Okay.
The problem with Eli was his consistency because he'd have some very average years otherwise. That was the problem.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. And we'll see what Kansas City does with their Matt Nagy. That's in Matt Nagy.
You mean the same guy that called like the plays where he got 67 yards of total offense against the Titans in a playoff game? You want to trust that guy? Woof.
He was a decent coordinator. He just sucked ass,
He got broken by the double doink. That's what happened.
Yeah. Riley Welker, name your top 5 NFC quarterbacks. Number 1.
I mean, in any particular order?
So hard. Wow, because I don't really like to stand out. Like
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Okay, but like, is he? Right.
Well, top 5 in the NFC. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is there.
Barely.
Even though he's
probably
old.
clinging to the top 5. I would probably say
to the top 5. Let's put Dak Prescott somewhere.
Yeah, Dak would be top 5.
Dak is sniffing around there.
I'd say Cousins. 5. If it's Dak, Cousins has got to be there.
Cousins is around there. Jared Goff. That's actually a good
Goff
choice.
might be number 5. Goff or Geno Smith. Because Kyler is not there yet.
Kyler's trash. Brock Purdy's trash. I mean,
he's injured. He's hurt.
You gotta put Kirk in there, I guess. Kirk's a decent quarterback. Wow. Like AFC is so easy. You're like Mahomes, Allen, Herbert,
Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. Might be Trevor Lawrence.
Or Derek Carr.
Joe Burrow.
If you want
Burrow.
Joe Burrow, easily. Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm. The AFC is loaded.
But you're not putting Daniel Jones in the top 5.
No.
Not putting
not putting Kyler yet. I mean, Kyler maybe a year ago would have been in the top 5, but now with that injury and his inconsistent year, he dropped out.
Yeah, there's a lot of weak. Yeah. There's not much chaff.
Yeah. I mean, somebody will probably pop up, like emerge next year. Might be Fields, might be Stroud.
Stafford had such a bad.
Well, Stafford, his elbow's too banged up. He got injured. Like, and with his back, you never know if he's going to be the same.
We didn't even bring up Lamar.
Lamar Jackson. In the AFC.
Right.
Well, you don't know where he's going to be. He could be in the NFC next year.
Yeah, maybe. He would probably instantly be the best quarterback in the NFC.
One of the best, easily. Yeah, he would.
Kyle Trask.
Will
Michael Vick.
No, Desmond Ritter season, baby.
Desmond Ritter season. Connor Akers, Russ, and Ciara are the Meghan and Harry of the NFL. And the LIM report, which stands for Licking in My Nuts report. What are Tree's thoughts on the FSG Penguins so far? Disgruntled Liverpool fan not happy with FSG right now.
Fenway Sports Group.
Oh.
Well, all you have to say is last night they blew another major lead against the Islanders in a supposedly critical 3-game stretch. You choked against the Islanders. First game on Friday. They kind of blew it because the goaltending's been suspect. Your defensive structure's terrible. Saturday, you got crushed by the Devils. And it was just, there was no contest. Dustin Tokarski just was overmatched. And then Monday, you had Tristan Jarry back, but he did another Martin Fodor, and he derped the puck again to give up the game-winning goal. And
the Isles?
The Islanders. And this was without Pajot or Matt Barzal. So you are in the deepest of shit. They're becoming what I feared they were going to be when they brought the gang back last offseason, which is like the gang isn't the ones at fault. They have no depth. Their goaltending is suspect. Their defense is falling apart. Dumoulin's fallen to shit. Jeff Carter is he's washed. He's just falling apart. Great player, but I mean, his time's up, unfortunately. We have him for another year with a no trade clause. So great. But it's you become the new Red Wings. That's
or the new Blackhawks. It's like,
well, as long as we have a sexual assault case, I mean, we will become the new Blackhawks.
I'm just saying. Yeah. It's pretty rough in Pittsburgh. Like, you might make the playoffs. I think you've fallen.
If you make the playoffs, we get destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, we have a games played advantage. We have a couple less games played than, say, the Islanders or the Panthers. But if we play, we're going to get fucking crushed by Boston. Like, we're going to get destroyed by them. We'll get destroyed by Carolina. Like, there is no chance. Like, we're losing in 5 games. Like, you have a top 6, but that's it.
Riley Welker says, why does it feel like AFC has way better QBs? Also, this is why I feel good about the Eagles still. The other QBs are mid. Yeah, I mean, Jalen, I guess you got to put him in the top 5, but like, I mean, he had a top 5 season. Is he a top 5 quarterback?
At this rate in the NFC, yeah. Because if you're throwing Trevor Lawrence in that conversation, I see that fake smile. I see that fake smile. Like, Jalen Hurts is going to get extended for at least $50 million.
Oh, yeah. Easy. Justin Fields, top 5. No. The Wolfman, I just read the thumbnail. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Yeah, dude, that's what he's asked for. We haven't even talked about Lamar yet.
That's the rumor, but like, you run with rumors at this point. And the thing is, like, with the way the salary cap's going up, $45 million might be a reasonable demand for Daniel Jones.
Speaking of rumors, Jack Danaher 2001 says there is speculations Mac Jones will be traded. For who and for what?
Mac Jones, you're probably trading to a team that will speculate on his talent. So maybe like probably not the Colts unless they want to see him as like a veteran, like influence, like to compete with a rookie quarterback. Like
Atlanta
maybe you'd be lucky to get a 2nd or a 3rd round pick out of him. So like if Derek Carr doesn't go to New Orleans, maybe he goes to the Saints. Maybe he starts there for a little bit. You see if he got anything in him. I would say maybe even San Francisco, because remember, Kyle Shanahan allegedly wanted him in the draft. Maybe a flip of him for Trey Lance or Brock Purdy. I would say maybe them. The Rams, potentially. Because, they always like to fuck them picks.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay needs a quarterback.
They need a quarterback pretty bad. I don't think a quarterback fixes Tampa Bay. They had a lot of problems outside of Tom Brady.
They were a mess.
And they don't have any picks now. They're just kind of fucked. Justin Ziegler, biggest wild cards this offseason, Seahawks, Eagles, loins, and Texans having 2 first-rounders. All 4 could get best player available or trade back given how high their extra picks are. Bears, who knows at this point?
The Bears, I'm hearing a lot of smoke about Justin Fields, but it depends on what you get in return for him. Like, if they're willing to break the bank and overpay for Justin Fields, you consider it. But if it's just like a first and maybe some rando pick, be like, we'll see if he'll develop. Go.
This is okay. It's February 21st. The season ended a week ago?
Yes.
Okay. There's going to be rumors and there's going to be speculation and there's going to be a lot of guessing. Like, it's not as cut and dry, man. It's not that simple. It's not that easy, bros. Michael Orman, to wait until Ian Rappaport or Adam Dick Sucking Schefter says something, then don't. It's all speculation. Okay. We don't even know if this $45 million contract demand is real.
I mean, at this point, like, it's probably an agent throwing a bone to a random guy. That's probably what it is. When you usually send like information like that to a reporter or somebody on Twitter, you're doing it to get that information out there. You're not doing it because it's a real rumor. You're doing it to either inflate the value of your client or to deflate the value of a client. Say like, wait, he wants $45 million. What are we doing here? Or, you know what? I think he's worth $45 million. You create that demand, and it could be either an executive or an agent.
Yeah, you don't know which side leaked it. Yeah, you don't know which side leaked it.
That's why I say it's a source. It's allowed to be anonymity because nobody's going to actually put their name on that shit. No. That's a destruction of credibility.
I could say Daniel Jones wanted $50 million now.
I could say 5 Points wants $50 million to keep.
Yeah, a lot of those reports though do come from a actual credible source, but
of course
you never know what the intent of the credible source is. So Michael Orme says Daniel Jones wanting 45 mil. What the fuck? Yeah. And then that one guy says, why is Ken Anderson so underrated? Seriously, how is he not in the Hall of Fame? I don't think I've ever seen as good of a pass from any other QB. Ken Anderson played for
the Bengals. He was the Bengals before Boomer Esiason, so probably mid-70s to like mid-80s. I think the problem was that he played for the Bengals, never really had any hardware. I think that's why. He was in an age where he was overshadowed by the likes of Bradshaw, Staubach, Dan Fouts, like high-flying passers that I think that was the issue. Plus, I think I think this was prototype Bill Walsh before he left for San Fran. So I think he wasn't really in a pass-happy offense per se. He was more of a field general than he was like a prolific passer. And I think that's what holds him back from the Hall of Fame. Good quarterback, though.
Yeah.
If he had a ring, they'd probably be saying clamor for the Hall. Like if he beat San Francisco in the first Super Bowl the Bengals had played, there's probably a lot more bickering for him to be in the Hall.
Yeah. Irvin Alvarado, is this the end of regional sports networks as we know it? The major leagues are preparing to step in, but the money for teams getting paid for the RSNs will be really screwed short.
Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a big problem to the NHL because they rely on that TV money and they rely on those revenues because I think it's like something like 10 or 15 teams are with Bally. And they're the ones that are going to be bankrupt because I think with Bally, they missed like an interest payment of $120 million. And what happens with those networks? Because I feel like the RSNs are in trouble because most people watch their stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
Or they watch in like the bigger networks. It's the same problem with ESPN exacerbated. Because most people
they have a monopoly. Well, they used to have that regional lockdown, but now if you get ESPN Plus, I can watch MSG Network right on my phone, right?
Mm-hmm. Or you can, like in other networks too, like Fubo TV offers regional sports networks. Mm-hmm. YouTube TV offers regional sports networks. Any sort of just network in general does. Like you can stream it from anywhere now. And this is a problem that's really popped up in the last 10 years because there wasn't the technology to stream a consistently high bit rate until now.
Yeah, well, now it's just so easy. You can do it on your phone, like without wireless internet.
Mm-hmm. Just do it on a phone plan. You have unlimited data now.
Yep. You've been memed. Ooh, that's a good name. How would you guys rate the Sabres season so far? And despite a loaded Atlantic, is there a shot they make the playoffs? Let's look at the standings.
I think Buffalo's had a decent year. I think your goal for Buffalo has been to develop your core. And so far, you've had pieces of that. Tage Thompson was scoring goals in bunches for a hot minute. You've been seeing Owen Power start to come into his own. Goaltending's your question. I mean, I saw them just get crushed by Toronto. UPL has had a rough game, but that's also because Toronto is high in talent. But that would be more of a situation where just things come and go with time. That happens. But at the same time, you could make the playoffs because they're only about 3 to 5 points away from a wildcard spot.
They're sitting at 60 points. Yeah, they're sitting at 60 points. You got the Pens, the Isles, the Panthers, and the Caps. They're all right there at that kind of 60.
It's a mosh pit, and it's just a mosh pit of mediocrity right now.
I just don't. I don't know how good the Sabres are. There's a lot of good teams, experienced teams to leapfrog.
It'd be a good learning experience year for them if they do make it. Because at that point, you haven't made the playoffs in over 10 years. You're just hoping to get back to the dance. That's all it is.
It seems like both the Atlantic and the Metro are very top heavy.
Very.
Both divisions. I mean, of course, you got the Bruins that are just fucking crushing everybody.
But
the Leafs and the Lightning are really good. Like the Lightning are third place in the Atlantic.
And they're going to be another gauntlet, 7-game series. That's probably what's going to happen again. And then in the Metro, you've had Carolina, New Jersey, and New York really take off.
You really didn't think that the Devils would be there. You thought the Rangers would kind of be there with what they
Rangers are finally playing up their potential again, and you do have Tarasenko now.
Yeah, and you got Tarasenko. I'll be looking forward to them getting some blue line help. I think if the Rangers add one more blue liner, like that's it. That's going to be.
If you had to pick a blue liner right now, who would it be? Out of anyone available?
Who's available?
Well, there are a couple names right now. I mean, you have Jacob Chychrun, but he'll probably demand a lot. Colton Parayko's out there, but he's got a big 8-year deal. I doubt you take that.
No.
I would say I'm trying to think who else is really like out there. Mostly smaller names, but for the most part, like I would feel like
are they going to trade like a Drew Doughty, right? Like
no, you're not going to trade a Drew Doughty. He's in a playoff range.
Yeah, or
so I would say maybe John Klingberg, but do you really need John Klingberg with his bad defensive
awareness? Like who's out of it, right?
Anaheim, Arizona, Chicago. You gotta get Jack Johnson back.
They already got rid of Duncan Keith.
Oh, Duncan Keith was gone 3 years ago. He's already retired.
Yeah.
Next, you're gonna tell me you can trade for Brent Seabrook.
Yeah. I mean,
he is with the Lightning. I mean,
you think the Predators? Do you think the Preds would?
No, I think they still feel like they're in the hunt. But do you think that you try and go get like a Ryan McDonough? I don't know if you have the cap to do that. He's not the same as he was.
I don't think the Lightning would get rid of McDonough.
No, he's a Pred. Lightning's.
Oh, he is a Pred. That's right.
Yep, he got traded in a cap crunch.
I forgot about that. Shit.
Yep, Erik Karlsson, but I mean the price is going to be way too steep.
But he would be a good rental.
He's not a rental. He's there for 4 years. He's got a 4-year contract.
Right. Golly, you don't want Karlsson. He's going to suck the team. Like, you'd have to win the cup, and there's no guarantee like that. Like, I think the Rangers want to win, for a while.
And the problem is you already have him. You already have him. His name's Adam Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, Karlsson has more offensive instincts, but Fox right now, I would say better youth and probably a bit of a better skater. I mean, Karlsson's still solid, but his skating still isn't the same as it was when he was in his 20s.
Be a sick pairing, though. Karlsson. Well, you wouldn't get much defense out of Karlsson and Fox, but that would be like a sick power play tandem.
You'd probably throw him with Keandre Miller or somebody defensively responsible.
Yeah. I mean, the Rangers, their blue line is not terrible. Okay, let's be clear about that. But
you just need depth. You need a third pairing guy.
Yeah. Let me see who's on the
Ducks. I mean, if you want our trash, you could trade for Brian Dumoulin.
We don't want that fucking piece of shit.
He's toast.
Yeah. Let's see. Who on the Ducks could we take?
John Klingberg. Shaddy? No, you don't want Shaddy.
We had him.
Same as he was.
Trying
to think who's
Kulikov.
Vladislav Gavrikov is one, but I think he's already in
below. Simon Benoit. Cam Fowler. I guess Cam
Fowler's got a big contract though. He's got a big contract. So
how close to the end of it is it?
I think he's got 5 years left on it.
Oh God.
So no.
It'd be a nice pickup though.
Yeah, if there were no cap. I mean, if this were the early 2000s when they were throwing money at everything that moved and they still didn't make it.
Klingberg's the only guy.
And Klingberg is trash this year.
Trash. He'd be taking minutes away from somebody
he's a power play specialist.
Third pairing.
That's what he is.
He'd be taken away from a third pairing. Why wouldn't you just throw Zach Jones out there, or whatever that guy is? Forget. Where are we? Marco Monroe.
Yep, I can do that one.
No, Pens, Avs, and Pats.
Pens, Avs, and Pats. Am I the only Pens fan who unfortunately have to see the Penguins potentially miss the playoffs for the first time in 16 years? I can see it. They don't deserve to make the playoffs.
They'll make it.
I mean, as I said, it's unfortunate they will. And I'll probably be streaming these games completely depressed and pissed off because it'd be the worst case scenario. It's like the Red Wings in 2016 when you had that core that was still carrying them. You still had Datsuk and Zetterberg and Jimmy Howard, but the rest of the team, there was nothing around it. And then you got stomped against Tampa. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yep.
Marco Monroe, congrats to Chelsea after spending £600 million on players this year and firing their manager midseason. They are 10 and lost to Southampton, who are bottom of the league at home, and they lost away too. Yep, I saw like Potter out trending on Twitter for that reason.
Yeah, they're pissed off.
Yeah, I mean that usually happens. I mean Chelsea is a very reputable club. I'm not surprised that they're pissed. Nick JK, everyone talks like Matty Ice and Eli when debating who gets into the Hall of Fame, but how the hell hasn't Hines Ward made it? Now James Harrison eligible too. It's hard for wide receivers to make it to the Hall of Fame. I mean, it took Tim Brown a very long time. Tim Brown, Art Monk took almost 20 years.
James Lofton.
Yeah, James Lofton.
Art Monk had to do a campaign. Like he had to hire a PR firm. Like he just had to pay to get his way in, which
Drew
sucked.
Pearson, it took him 50 years. And he had to have a huge PR campaign too.
Yeah, Art Monk should have been in.
John Stallworth isn't in the Hall of Fame yet.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why. And James Harrison, he's not going to make it. His prime was too short. He was awesome, but his prime was short.
Yeah, he only has that one play in the Super Bowl.
He's in the Steeler Ring of Honor. He'll be there, but he's not going to be in the Hall.
Yeah. But Lofton and who's the other? Andre Reed. Andre Reed got in.
Andre Reed took a while. Jimmy Smith still isn't in.
And Jimmy Smith was great.
He was really
Jimmy Smith
good.
was fantastic. So was Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor should be in. Fred Taylor should be fucking in, dude.
But the problem is it takes running backs and wide receivers a long time unless you're like creme de la creme.
Yeah, that's the problem with the NFL too. Is like, okay, if you're good for 8 years, you're in. You know, like it's not like baseball where you had to be fucking tastic for 20 years
and have a good personal reputation because the writers gatekeep.
Or just be Fred McGriff, you know.
Yeah. Or be Harold Baines.
Yeah, or fucking Andre Dawson should not have been in. Harold Baines should not have been in.
What? You just Andre Dawson the Hawk? Come on. Well, Harold Baines only made it in because his career was long.
He's solid DH though, you know. Like, and there's a bunch of guys that should be in that are not. Manny Ramirez.
Well, I mean, as I said, it's the gatekeeping. It's about the steroids. That's why. It pretty much is what it is. Like, you put in David Ortiz, who's been dogged by steroid allegations as well, but has never been caught.
Yeah. He'll get in.
Yeah.
He is
He'll be in the vets committee. I mean, Schilling should be in, regardless of his
they'll let him in by the vets.
He should, but he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Speeches. Yeah.
Like Pete Rose will get in when he's dead.
Scott Rowland surprised
Scott Rowland, he's all right.
And don't tell me that he
why he's in the Hall.
Roids. Yeah.
But I mean, people are talking about like Andrew Jones being in the Hall. Like, I feel like Andrew Jones's prime was too short.
Yeah, he was like
he was like really good he was really good for a while. Then he went to the Dodgers and then just fell.
Yeah. And then he had some bad year, 230, you know, like
really as I said, once he went to the Dodgers, like it wasn't the same.
Really bad.
And I think that's what's going to cost him in the Hall.
Nick JK, everyone talks Matty Ice and Eli when debating who gets in the Hall of Fame, but how the hell hasn't Hines Ward made it now? James Harrison. Oh wait, we just read that. Sorry. You read Jathber.
Yep. Jath BR. Random question, and sorry if you all answered this one on stream before, but what are the origins of your channel names? 5.
Okay.
So I don't think we've heard this one in a while.
Yeah, so when I started out as a gaming channel, I wanted to, whenever I did a video, I wanted to give tips about Madden, and I would have 5 points of information for each video. And then I was like, I am 5 points vids. There would be 5 points. And that was it. And then I started doing top 5s. And then so that made it.
It is Jasper. Wow, 5. You actually got the pronunciation right.
Thank you.
Damn.
And then I started doing
bench warmer, bro. We're doing the horn. Oh, I'm wearing the shirt today, baby. It's worn out because I've worked out a ton in it, but it's still kicking.
That thing looks sweaty as fuck. That thing looks like it smells like both
It has been destroyed. Like it has faded off in the laundry machine, man. I wore the shit out of this.
Yeah. But yeah. So why don't you tell everyone your origin story?
Well, my origin it was me being an edgelord on Xbox Live when I was 15. I came up with the name. Like I was playing Rainbow Six. I think it was just around 2003, 2004. And I'm thinking like, oh, what's a cool name I can use for like a future username? It's like, oh, it'd be a cool name, Urinating Tree. And it just, that's how it stuck. And it probably cost me a lot because I think like, wait, why would I do Urinating Tree?
When you have to go on TV with MSG, are they going to call you like U-Tree or Tree?
A Tree or U-Tree probably. Tree would probably work better.
Have you ever been asked to change it to like U-Tree or something? Like
no, I mean, they mentioned it like in 2017 when I was first starting, but at that point it's like, I mean, at that point I think about sometimes, but I feel like the brand's already there,
I think it's funny.
Yeah,
it's really funny. I think there could be a day where you have to change it to just Tree.
Yeah, I think it's already
will
there.
Still recognize you. Yeah.
But
like you change your channel name on YouTube, like no one recognizes you.
Yeah, and the problem is like people change it and then they like the algorithm gets fucky.
Yeah, because I changed my name from 5 Points Gaming to 5 Points Vids, and everyone was like, "Oh, you changed your name," and I was like, "No, it's just Pissing Tree.
It's
you
the
can't
last
have
connection.
Pissing. Like he's got to be on TV,
Yeah.
Like, let's throw it down to. I guess they could use your real name, Steve.
Well, I don't know if I would say Steve.
Bitch Zanya.
Steve Bitch Zanya wouldn't be a bad.
I give money to anyone that knows Tree's last actual name.
It's already
Steve
out
Schlosser.
there. I mean, it's already
Steve Schlosser. I guess you could. I guess you could change your name to Schlosser.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did, but at the same time, it didn't really stick. So it's
Schlosser doesn't sound as impactful as Urinating Tree. It's just fucking funny, man.
Well, it depends on the humor. People say like, oh, it's like this guy's a tryhard. You know what I mean?
I think U-Tree would be better because then you get to keep all the tree puns and all that stuff.
I think the problem is I've heard about U-Tree. It was apparently like a British like black op back in the 1960s. YEWTREE.
Y'all doxing up in there in the chat. Fuck y'all.
Oh yeah, as I said, it's already out there. It's already out. It's not
Look
doxing. It's been out there, dude. It's already out there. It's not doxing.
Yeah, still.
It's already, and no point in. I mean, at the point, like it was my fault. It was.
They can't find you anyway.
Oh, don't worry. They can find me. Oh, trust me. Low Google foo, you can find where I live. Trust me.
Yeah, well,
it's out there. You could find whatever, dude.
What's my last name? They don't know.
Your last name is Adam Bitch Tits. That's your last name.
It's not Bitch Tits. Look at these. These are perfect.
They look like bitch tits to me.
Look at these bitch tits right here.
You're growing a B cup. You're turning into a lady boy. Congratulations. Very last name. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I was going to zoom in there. You're lucky.
Jackson. Adam Baldwin. Jackson, it's on your damn credits.
Here's the thing. I know your real last name, but I'm not going to say it.
Jackson is not my last name. It's a pseudonym. Haha.
I thought about doing a pseudonym, but I couldn't get out ahead of it. So,
well, you never thought you'd be famous,
No, of course not. I'm just the dude shit posting on the internet.
How it is. My real last name. You know what? I'll reveal my real last name. It's Adam Ant. And
Adam Ant.
Yes, it's actually Adam 5 Points Tits.
No, Rashid, it's a Yellowwood, man. It's yellow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Spanky G, yee, it's Spanky G, and the dismay of NASCAR fans across the world. Recce Spinhouse memes are dead. Now, who are we supposed to make fun of? The Daytona is such a weird race. Like, what's his name? Didn't Mike McDowell win it?
Yeah, Michael McDowell won it.
Right.
Trevor Bain. Derek Cope back in the 90s.
Cope. It's
it's a super speedway. It's
right.
It's more or less based on it's not really based on engine performance. It's more about driver skill in super speedways and some luck, if you want to complete the basics.
But I get it. You have to be there near the front. Like you have to have a fast car to get there near the front. I thought that Kyle Busch was going to win it. I thought that Larson was going to make a push. He got flipped. He got wrecked at the last
I thought they were
lap.
going to BS their way to Bubba Wallace win, and then everyone got pissed over it. I was kind of thinking that would happen.
I mean, it was just crazy. And the fact that Stenhouse really didn't have to earn it. You know, there was another three-quarters of a lap to go, and you knew that there was going to be another push coming. But Larson, you know, somebody took Larson out, and that just ended it. And then there you go. Yeah, I thought Logano was right there. Logano, he took the lead.
Yeah,
you know, it was a good race though. And if any of y'all watched Tom,
a little anticlimactic in the end, but
yeah, it was fun. It was fun watching Tom because he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He's like, what? Stenhouse? How do you win it? AL says any F1 coverage this year also moved 2K pounds out. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about F1 here and there. It's coming. Yeah. You know, the season is upon us.
You're more the F1 guy than me.
Yeah, so we're seeing all the liveries. We're seeing all the liveries. Yep.
Well, and honor will be spelling tire with a Y.
Yes. And we will not be fueling up our cars the entire race. But no, I thought that the F1 is going to be interesting this year. I think Verstappen dominates again. I think
Lewis Hamilton will be up there.
Be right back to where he was. They just had Mercedes did not handle all the changes last year, and it seemed like the changes were kind of designed to be against them. So, but we'll see. They've had more time to design a better car, but I think they'll be right there, and Ferrari should be right there as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari's been kind of shit in the bed the last couple of years, so you got to be careful.
They finished third last year, you know.
Yeah, I forgot they finished third. I know the last couple of years,
second. They might have finished second last year, but Red Bull ran away with it so far, like it wasn't even close. Polka Dot Gaming, thoughts on the Tyler Mott trade? Yeah, you know, Gautier. I like Gautier as a player. I guess they looked at him and saw that we had too many wings. We had too many forwards, especially with the addition of Tarasenko. So they're like, all right, we need some help up the middle. Mott is an ex-Ranger anyway, so they knew what they were getting.
Mott's better on the bottom six. Gautier is more of a top six, middle six option. And he was never going to get that time.
Yeah, but I'm surprised, though, with bringing Mott back. It makes you wonder if they're like, well, I guess maybe they don't want Goudreau taking draws, you know, or, you know, because you got Trocheck, right? You got Zibanejad, then you got Goudreau, and then you got Mott now, and so yeah, I mean, I guess that could work, but you also had who's the other center? I'm thinking, Hedl.
Yeah, Hedl.
So like Hedl, you're gonna have Hedl in the middle, duh.
He's gonna be on your kid line with Loff and Kako.
Yeah, so it seemed just like a depth move because, and maybe they want to move Goudreau over, you know, and maybe take less draws.
I mean, as I said, he's going to be on your fourth line. You're going to plop him there. He's a solid penalty killer. That's what you brought in Tyler Mott for.
Mm-hmm. All right, you read Junio Rudy.
Yeah, we'll read that guy. I'll do it. 2 sexiest men on YouTube, no contest. Oh, dude. This face is breaking mirrors left and right, and it's not by heartthrobiness. It's about them committing suicide. Aaron Rodgers needs to bring his future New York brother Igor Shesterkin to the darkness to find himself. Yeah, dude, Winnipeg was making jokes about 4-pass Shesterkin yesterday. It's not good. It was not good.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sexy. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, you're going through your midlife crisis where you're kind of turning into Pitbull.
Yeah.
So you're kind of at that point.
I'm all right.
You're trying to get the puppas.
Yep. He was having a little bad dream down there. He was having little nightmares. Adam Kaufman, Ortiz allegations. Look at him from the Twins. Then he ballooned up with the Red Sox. If he played anywhere other than ESPN bias land, no chance. Yeah, well, he did win a world championship, and he
won a couple World Series, dude.
Yeah, he did. And he was the key to
one of them. A couple of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was rough. It was very rough. Riley Welker, Clickbait punishment: loser wears Tree's bench warmer shirt. No, dude, that's punishment you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, dude.
And it would have to be after a workout. Like,
dude, after a workout where it's just drenched with sweat, and then I send it, and it's still like just wet. It smells like shit. Oh, trust me, dude, I could do that.
Like it doesn't.
Oh, dude, I will go to the gym for 45 minutes. I will rip that stuff off. I will keep sure it's still drenched in sweat, and I will still wear that. Yes,
we got to do that to Tom, and Tom will put it on, and like we have to make a rule that says you can't.
It's gonna. Oh, dude, that would be a crime against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, trust me. I'll film myself with the sweat and just taking it off and be like, look at that. Like that thing would probably weigh at least 5 pounds. So,
dude, I saw you down in.
I sweat like a motherfucker.
In Daytona, dude, you were having it rough, dude. That was a rough day for you.
I sweat. Well,
you tried your best.
Here's the thing. I did leg day during that day. Then we went out throughout Daytona, and then by the night, I was just like, my body was just like done.
I think the heavy leg day did it. Yeah, well, but you didn't regret it though. Come on.
Oh, not at all. I didn't regret that. I enjoyed the day. It's just my body just said enough. You're done.
I didn't know it was going to be so physically exhausting though to be there at the track either.
It was. The problem was it wasn't the track movement that did it. It was the leg day before. I think that kind of pushed.
Yeah, but we had to go up and down all the steps. To and from. I mean, once we got to our seats, it was fine. But man, it was hot out there.
Yeah, it was
so humid. Much fun though.
Humid.
Like, plus we weren't like jabronis. Like we had tent access. We had pit access. We were in the media room. They let us hang out there. No one said
we had we were sitting in the AC like, oh, thank God.
Everyone's so friendly too. And they were like, hey, do y'all have media passes? And I was like,
well,
no.
except for the security, except for that.
That was weird too, because we got pit access. And then they stopped one person in our group, right? Was it
it's
you?
Like they stopped me, and then they went after your kid. It's like you're not supposed to.
No, they didn't. No, actually, Kay, he just I like took his badge, like I took one of the old ones and I flipped it around and I put like the media thing in there, and like it was like the press guide from the media room, and no one ever questioned him about it. Like I was just like, he's with me, dude, and they were like, all right. Like if you say it with enough confidence, they'll be like, whatever, dude, whatever, and you just walk past. And it was fun, man. I loved that. That was great. Like there's no way in the NFL like you can just walk down to the sideline and just be on the sideline and no one question what you're doing there, Mm-hmm. Anyways, Riley Welker says clickbait punishment: loser wears trees. No, wait, we already read that. Yeah. Gadzooks Adam Chrome Dome. Yes, that is my name.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the bald always makes things worse, man.
Chrome Dome. Look at those spots on the head.
Ooh. It's not the head. I don't really see the spots. I see the shine though. I mean, dude, you gotta wax that stuff, man. You gotta polish and buff. I mean, I see you do that. You're putting on sheep's fat there, man. You are just making it go to town. You are lathering that stuff up, and you're really making that shine.
I lube it up. I lube up the chrome dome, and we just got domes of chrome.
Oh yeah, man, it's a beautiful chrome, dude. It is a fantastic chrome.
When are you gonna shave your head? Huh?
I don't know, man. I mean, I haven't really hit widow's
honestly
peak yet. It's just I've got like 6 head. That's the only thing.
Enjoy your hair while you have it. Not everyone can pull this look off.
Yeah, I mean, give it time. I might be able to, but like the problem is, I would have to it would be even paler than say this. Because remember what I accidentally got a buzz cut. It was just like I was sitting there in the sun, like my head was big, and it's like, oh shit, right? I don't have any hair. That's why. So you gotta be careful about that.
Oh, I like this next one. You read it.
Mm-hmm. That I will do. Let's read this son of a bitch. Blazing Star 25. Hey, 5, who's your all-time favorite Giant? Same question for Tree, but favorite Steeler. 5. That's an interesting one. You got a lot.
So easy. So Eli Manning, dude. Like Eli Manning is like the greatest Giant probably ever. He played for 15 years. He won 2 Super Bowls. Phil Simms probably right behind there, but LT's right there, but it's Eli. Come on. Like, I love LT, but off the field, what Eli does for the Giants, he's still a Giant, still just loves the Giants. For all the criticism that he received as the Giants quarterback, he equally understands the love that he got. And so it's Eli. No question. What about for you, Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh, God, no. Troy Polamalu. Dude, watching him play, dude, he was a treat to watch in his prime. And he was an even better human being, too.
Yeah.
Like, they did a lot of charitable work around the city. Like, there are a lot of stories of just his kindness and generosity. But as a player, like, you see him just screaming from the second level.
Yeah.
Just to me to snap. I'm like, oh. Just seeing that huge bag of hair. Like, it was sad when in that last year when it was obviously lost a step. And it's like, damn.
Yeah, Polamalu is just
special.
He's just so great. And he's a guy who was undersized. He just loved the game of football. I mean, he got to, being a big guy, but like, I mean, he played with that, Isaiah Pacheco type abandonment for the game. Just, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going all out. And he went hard, man. He went hard in the paint.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now he does Head and Shoulders commercials to piss off Tom Grossi. Vanessa Webster. Can KC Roy... Oh, sorry, I missed one by Connor Akers. Hey, Tree, since Pittsburgh doesn't have an NBA team, did you have a favorite team or player growing up? I kind of had an interest in the Raptors growing up, like late 90s. So I kind of had a soft spot in me feel good when they won an NBA title for once.
That's right. You've said that. Like, the Raptors were like your adopted team because you didn't have anyone.
Pittsburgh didn't have an NBA team.
Yeah.
I mean, NBA would fail in Pittsburgh because we've had so many NBA teams or like basketball teams that have just come and gone in like a year because it's just like the market's not there for it.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Webster, can KC Royals stay out of last place this year, and can the Mets win a playoff series? It might be them in the bottom with Detroit again, unless they can get some development from the prospects. They have some interesting pieces, but at the same time, I mean, Cleveland's going to be gunning again. Minnesota's trying to go all in. The White Sox, I mean, you could hope they finally live up to their potential because Reinsdorf's a cheap ass who doesn't want to spend on the team. But, yeah.
The Mets should be able to go deep this year, especially if Verlander's healthy. You people forget Verlander is coming. Oh.
But Verlander's 41, though.
Oh, did you just knock on your thing? I thought someone
I
was
did. I did.
Okay, I thought someone was knocking on your door. Verlander is 41. He won a Cy Young last year. Okay? Come off of that shit.
Problem with pitchers in their 40s, they can fall off really fast. You got to be careful.
This is like when we added Pedro Martinez to the Mets, and he pitched well, and then he just got old. Like, he just aged, and he didn't even pitch in the playoffs that year. We ran away with the division in 2006. And then he just never played. He didn't pitch.
His body just fell apart on him. It happens, unfortunately. I mean, I'm really shocked that Verlander came back. I thought once he had that injury in 2020, I thought it's like we saw the last of Verlander, and that's a Hall of Fame career. But he added more to his resume.
Mm-hmm. Vanessa Webster says no. He already said
we
that.
have AAA.
Yes. Go ahead, read it.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were reading that. My bad. For some reason, I picture Tree as Muscle Man from Regular Show taking his shirt off and twirling it in the air. I've never seen Regular Show.
Never seen Regular Show?
No, I've not.
My kids used to watch it. I don't know all the cast and characters. I know if I looked it up.
I know a little bit of it. Like, I know some of like the character descriptions, but I don't know a ton about it. Because I've seen.
Yeah. It's the one with the raccoon and the.
Yeah, the raccoon and the bluebird. Yep, blue jay,
bluebird or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of great lines. Like, I guess my kids would be able to just be like, "You haven't seen Regular Show, you boomer." And who was all the cast there? J.G. Quintel, it's Mordecai and Mitch Muscleman. Rigby, Skips, Mark Hamill is the voice of it.
Oh yeah, Mark Hamill is a prolific voice actor.
Yeah, because he sucked like. Oh, Tim Curry is a voice actor in it.
Tim Curry,
Linda Cardarelli from ER.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tim Curry, I don't think he hasn't done anything in a long time. He had a stroke a while ago, and he hasn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, Roger Craig Smith. There's some
Kurtwood Smith, he's a known B actor. Courtenay Taylor.
Yeah, Tim Curry uses a wheelchair now. I just looked it up.
Oh no, one of the great talents of all time.
Yeah, it's like
Tim Curry. Yeah,
like he still does voice acting, but for the most part, he is 76 though now.
Golly. Mm-hmm. All right, we made it 56 minutes. We did not talk about Lamar Jackson. What do you think is going to happen to Lamar? Is he going to say this to them?
Fuck you, Baltimore!
I think so, because quite honestly, I think the demands are way off. I think Lamar wants a lot more than Baltimore's willing to pay. So let's have a little debate here. Do you think Lamar Jackson's worth being paid? 5?
I've said this a million times. They should pay him. What? Like, unless they just see something that we don't see, unless they think that he is just trash and like we are all, his talent is all smoke and mirrors or something. Like, why wouldn't you lock up a young quarterback who's definitely, a top 10 quarterback in the league for as long as possible?
Here's my argument for why Baltimore shouldn't sign him. He has done absolutely nothing in the playoffs every time he's been there. And the past 2 years, when they've needed him, he has been injured. And he's been injured both times. And he's been out for weeks on a time. And especially with his style of play, you got to be careful, because once his legs go, he's done. Because that's his strength as a quarterback.
Yeah,
it's his legs.
He's a lot like RG3.
And would you guarantee that $250 million for a guy, if he gets injured, he becomes the next RG3?
But he won't, though.
I'm going to say this, but once again, I mean, he has shown flashes of brilliance, but at the same time, once again, for a guy who hasn't performed in the playoffs, he is the modern Michael Vick. I mean,
how many playoff wins does Lamar Jackson have? One,
and that was against the Titans, and I think that was.
So what's the difference between him? What's the difference between him and Daniel Jones?
No. Well, because Lamar Jackson had more tries, because they have planned around Lamar Jackson and made him throw with his arm. It did not work, and the same thing with Daniel Jones. He did not have anything thrown with his arm.
I'm saying they've played.
It did not work.
They've played pretty much. Lamar, I think, has one more year than
2 more years.
Daniel.
2 more years.
2 more years. Okay. Like they have the same amount of playoff wins. Jackson did win an MVP. Yes. Daniel Jones will never win an MVP.
If Daniel Jones wins an MVP, something has gone horrifically wrong in the world.
I think if Lamar was out there, they probably would have beat the Bengals, though, right? Because Huntley made some critical mistakes.
Yeah. Lamar wouldn't have gone rogue, or he would have changed the line to give it to J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. They were about to score and take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lamar rejected $50 million, which I think is dumb. That's right, muted growl.
Yeah, he rejected
Joe Flacco.
$185 million guaranteed. He wants full-time money.
It's just tough because Lamar is looking over at fucking massage therapist fucking Groper, and he's like, how come he's getting all that money?
It reset the market, and that's why Lamar wants it.
Right. Deshaun Watson hadn't done shit. Okay,
he hadn't played.
11-win, 12-win season.
He had some good years, but he hadn't played in a year and a half.
Yeah. They won 1 playoff game. Fucking Cleveland fucked everyone with that shit.
Yeah, because they got desperate and decided, we're going to throw all this money, and he's incredibly rusty, and he didn't lead Cleveland to shit last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, you hope he can come back and be Deshaun Watson, but at the same time, if he's bad next year, oh boy. Mm-hmm. Have fun, Cleveland. Have fun.
Oh, 20. Trying to end out the show. I guess that's a Jeebus bomb tonight.
Yeah, well, I'll put out the Jeebus for that.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Praise the Jeebus. Pay Lamar his due. Why are Phillies not being shown any love this season? Sure, the Mets, Braves, and Phillies are good, but Braves lost overall talent while the Mets relatively stayed the same level. The Phillies improved. The Phillies, they improved at shortstop. That's the thing with Trey Turner.
Yeah, Bryson Stott.
So they made some lateral changes, especially in the bullpen and in the starting rotation. So you think Aaron Nola would still be in Zach Wheeler. Those are going to be your 2 horses. Taijuan Walker's been very hit or miss. I think he could still be a decent mid-rotation replacement for Zach Eflin. So where are your other options coming from at that point? Like Craig Kimbrell, he's like either really good or a gas can. He could be your closer. Dan Robertson's gone. I think he had a solid stretch there. Dominguez, I think he'll be a solid option out of the pen too. So I would say,
but you've seen the Phillies take ex-Mets like Wheeler and like
Taiwan.
Yeah, Walker. Like Walker could be good for the fucking Phillies. Like it hurts because the Mets have let a lot of talent go to get to the rotation that they are at, and Syndergaard didn't burn them, but I mean Walker could,
Yeah.
So
Thor's a Dodger now. Ooh.
Yeah. But he didn't really burn him when he went to the Angels. It was like, he hasn't been healthy.
Yeah. Well, the problem is like they threw like $22 million at like a gamble, and I mean, Thor's still a serviceable pitcher, but he's not the elite Thor.
He's not 2015 Thor.
No.
That Thor was good. Him and DeGrom were a nasty 1-2 punch, and I mean, it got him to a World Series.
Who's taking a chance on Bauer? That's a good question. Because he is getting paid by the Dodgers $22 million.
We've said this. I think San Diego takes a look at him. He's so low cost. And
what if the Mets took a chance at him?
I would love that. I would fucking love that, dude.
People would be pissed.
Yeah, people would be pissed, but I'd be like, hey, Trevor, let me hang out.
Honestly, what I would say is come to the Pirates. We'll trade you by July. And we'll trade you to whatever team you want.
That's true. He could. I mean, he's going to be on a team. Okay, could be the Royals. Could be anyone. Like again, it's minimum salary for that guy, and he's got nasty stuff. He's ready to throw. He's ready to go. So Bauer will get picked up for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Anyways. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We did an hour.
I think we've done our sentence for the day. Yeah. You got anything big coming up, Mr. Five?
I got a video on Levi's Stadium. Salvatore says, who's your biggest sports opponent villains?
You mean like players who owned us repeatedly or just like boogeymen?
People we hated to see on the other side. McNabb really bothered me. I hated McNabb.
The one for the
Sidney
Pirates.
Crosby.
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby. Jaromir Jagr back in the day. Like Lemieux and Jagr, they could never be beaten.
They would
be fucking beaten.
They would just be terrorists.
Yeah. Tom Brady doesn't fucking bother me. I'm a Giants fan. And Brady's trash.
Guy I fucking hated against the Pirates, Billy Hamilton. For whatever reason, Billy Hamilton turned into prime Ricky Henderson against the Pirates when he was with the Reds.
Yep.
Same with Colton Wong. It's just like Colton Wong, solid second baseman, but against the Pirates, he turned into modern-day Joe Morgan. Like 3 for 4 with a home run and double and 3 RBIs every time.
What about football-wise? Who was your biggest villain?
Ooh. Biggest villain, I would probably have to say probably Ray Lewis.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good one.
I mean, the Ravens, you had some villains there. Guys you respected, but you hated to see on the other side. Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs.
Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was the victim. Reggie Miller, or villain, not victim, villain. It's tough to beat Reggie.
No, he's a victim.
Mendoza Denerm says, gonna do bros versus pros again this year. Both y'alls look healthier. Any significant lifestyle changes? Yeah, I'm eating healthier.
Yeah. I'm going to the gym regularly. I look like a fat ass, but still is what it is.
Yeah, maybe they see the color in our face. And
maybe
they recognize
could be that
the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to keep.
I'll read Nick JK's, and we'll see if Dodge and Hiei have a quick second.
What the hell was clickbait, boys? Oh, it was the compilation of writer's block that all of us just went through after the Super Bowl. I feel like we're all in a bit of a lull right now.
It's a creative void. We drained ourselves. We spent ourselves.
We were going nonstop for months since September to February, and that episode was just like deflating. Like we were just done. Yeah. Clickbait sports is the abortion that should not exist. Brendan Perna was the one who came up with that idea.
We recognize
if you want to blame anybody, blame him.
so quickly that we were just not doing well that it just didn't work,
And it went off the rails.
Yeah, it went off the rails fast.
Hey guys.
Hello.
How's life?
Hey, what's going on? Hey Dodge, you got any announcements?
Yes. I'm gonna be
Actually on February 15th. Check it out. It's by Apollo 03 entitled Supernova. But besides that, I'm still a fucking peon for Jeff Bezos, although I hope he buys the Redskins because even Jeff Bezos would probably run the fucking team better than Dan Snyder. Also, side note, I want to say, Deebo Samuel is still a bitch. He's still fucking whining about all his conference championship losses, or not losses, but regardless, he's just a bitch. But anyway, I think it's just funny, though, how the NFL put him in the top 10 plays of the year when he literally blew a fucking, I don't know. That dude's just a fucking bitch. Anyway.
Yeah.
How was life?
Good, man. Good. We're about to wrap up the show. So thanks for the update. Dodge, you got anything going?
Yes, I'm going to be doing an afterburn in about 20 minutes after the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. Crop sponsorship is back. My Gamecocks are #1. And, yeah, things are going pretty well. So, and hi, Ag. Not.
Oh, God. Is shirtless Ag around the
Does
corner?
he have a shirt on?
What do you think?
No.
Yeah.
It was chest day. It was clearly chest day.
Get the NFL Combine amount 21 times today, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Let's go.
Why are you not wearing a paper bag about A&M over your head, man?
25,
Come on.
21
Because
times.
college football risk tree. There's no reason to put a bag over your head for that.
True.
Yeah, but still, though, A&M is just.
You know what? Our basketball team actually isn't shit right now, so deal with it.
Right now.
Pitt's basketball team is
the
in shit
operative
somehow.
term is right now.
We might make the tournament, shockingly.
Well, it's a big tournament, March Madness is just around the corner. Get your bracket ready.
Yeah, you got anything before we sign off?
I made a shocking discovery. Lawrence Phillips goes to high school over here.
Oh.
But went to high school.
So, as far as anything big going on here soon, I'm going to be breaking down Black Velveteen and building a second computer out of the extra pieces I have left over. So I may be putting together a video or a stream about building a water-cooled computer in my back bedroom. I don't know how that's going to work just yet, but I might just try it. I don't know.
Hey, I'd go for it, man.
What if it was cooled by piss?
I'm not going to piss in my computer because
a tree computer. There you go.
Ammonia is not good on copper parts. Patina is not good to have as a coolant.
Come on, man.
Not come on, man.
Why do they cool with water? Why wouldn't you just have antifreeze?
Fine.
Because some of the ethylene glycol and antifreeze doesn't agree with the plastic or the copper.
Okay.
You
did you read this bulletproof glass?
No, I did not. But
Okay,
I'll
read that and we'll end the show.
Thoughts on Jesse Bates hanging out with AJ Terrell, Kyle Pitts, and Casey Hayward? Could be a revamped secondary that needs help. Jesse Bates would be a second-time franchise tag, so I think since he's going to let him go.
Yep. Jesse Master Bates.
So I think that wouldn't be a bad pickup. Mm-hmm. Jesse Bates is really underrated.
Yep. All right. Let's call it at the end of the game. The show.
Man,
Thanks everyone for coming.
Loses their mind.
I love y'all. Hey, hey, look at this, Dodge.
Yeah.
See that?
Very nice.
Tony Luke's in Philadelphia.
Tony Luke's
very nice.
So good. South Philly. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Peace out. To the sounds of Alex's